Welcome to day 623 of our Web3 journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian, and we have a very special guest with us today. You know him as Slava on the Deso blockchain. He's also behind many projects, including BundleDAO, Art by City, Deso Tracks. He's working with Deso Labs, Astronation, Love for SRC, Deso Ghost. He's behind so much stuff. Welcome to the show, Slava. How's it going?
Most people
Good,
probably know
beautiful
you
morning.
as the husband of Jules, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, the candle maker, the famous candle maker, Jules. Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me on the show. And good, beautiful morning, Deso.
Yeah, you've been here pretty much from the start, right, Slava?
I think we joined about the same week, guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Good
it's
time.
623 days for you too, probably around that.
Apparently, yeah, I haven't checked in a while, but yeah, I think I'm in the 600s with you
You
guys.
mean
Yep.
you don't keep track every day like we do?
No, I'm sorry.
All right, so
So
let's get to some news, and then we'll get to talking about some of the things you're doing on the DeSo blockchain because there's so much to talk about. So Brian, what is the latest with DeSo?
yeah, thanks to our unofficial intern Goldberry, she pointed out that Ash Deso noted that Deso and Diamond were both featured and discussed in the Bankless HQ newsletter, which is a huge newsletter within the crypto space. It was an article talking about Web3 social, and it mentioned Lens Protocol, Farcaster, and of course, Deso. They also had honorable mentions, which were Mastodon and a few others. It said that Deso is taking the maximalist approach to Web3 social, especially since it's a layer one. And it talked a bunch about Diamond being the Twitter-like app and the fact that they have the highest monthly active users out of any of the competition, including Lens, including Farcaster. So I think overall, it was a very positive piece, gave a lot of very good information to the crypto community, but word's getting out there, and this is yet another touch point for Deso.
And it should help with DeSo's growth, hopefully. And speaking of growth, Natter made a post asking people to reply with their best growth hacks for Diamond. And he said he's going to give 6 diamonds to the person who provides the best growth hack, which is approximately $50 or so, and 5 diamonds to the 5 runners up. So if you have any ideas, definitely share them in that thread by Natter. You can see the link above this video or below it on YouTube. I do want to touch on a few that were mentioned. WhaleShark suggested a couple that I thought were excellent. One was sponsoring a league of Twitter spaces. So we could have DeSo conversations on Twitter 24 hours a day. Like maybe, maybe Krasenstein runs a room for 2 hours every Wednesday. And like the whole community could have their own rooms at different times, and the rest of the community can participate. I love that idea. He also said massive amounts of sponsorships into hackathons could work. And restart on the incubator. I assume he means the Octane Fund. He said to offer incentives to quality projects on other chains to get them to move over to Deso, especially in the bear market where there's a lot of financial issues with the companies. He said there should be global meetups and presence at Web3 events. And he suggested starting a Deso conference that's all about social tokens and decentralized social media. You brand it as a Deso conference, people are going to learn about Deso. And he said to rent prominent screen space on billboards such as in Times Square and have it show posts and diamonds in real time. I think that's a really cool idea. And he also said get Chamath Palihapitiya to start exclusively posting on Diamond. I think everybody in the community would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to get somebody to exclusively post on Diamond just because they have such large followings elsewhere, but it's definitely nice to think about, right?
Yeah, and Slava, you could have one of those Twitter spaces.
Yeah, it'd be great.
You have like the perfect radio voice.
Thank you, guys. I think
It's like
Kanchi
the
and I.
opposite of our voice. Our voice is like squeaky and yours is like, oh, whoa.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I think
Speak for
Kanchi and I
yourself,
have that
Brian.
voice where we can read stories, I guess, on a podcast or something. That's what we've been told.
Yeah, it's a very good podcasting voice. So High Key said that DeSo should reach out to influencers in Web3 and offer them incentives to promote Diamond on YouTube. via YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, and then offer the fans who are watching these videos and these shorts exclusive giveaways. I think that's an excellent idea. William Laurent suggested that we auction off the reserved word username. So as you know, the core team reserved a bunch of short words that nobody could register. He suggests auctioning them off and kind of creating some buzz around them. And he also said that there should be monthly town halls on Twitter Spaces. And he also offered up his Twitter Space podcast, which just started last week, Web3 and 53 with Michelle Lord, saying he could support that. He could support the monthly town halls on there, which I think would be an excellent idea. Randir said to create a diamond DAO on DAO with 100 million tokens, with each token valued at 1 cent, and then have an airdrop in the next 100 days after that launch based on various criteria that helps bring people on board. So, you know, any actions that help bring people on board, you could earn tokens for. Brutal suggested build a diamond light. And I've actually suggested this before. I think you need a super simple diamond without all the financial stuff, just a minimalistic version. And he also said that they should build a diamond wallet for just financial operations. Deanne4IK said to pay Wall Street Journal, BBC, CNN, Forbes, the Washington Post to write about Deso nonstop. I know I get offers in LinkedIn all the time from media agencies that say for $5,000, you're going to have an article on CNN, Wall Street Journal. It can be tweeted by this person. I think Deso should probably look into some of that stuff.
I'm guessing they have somewhat. I'm guessing they
Yeah.
have done that. Yeah, actually.
And Nigel's, of course, said he'd list Deso on Binance and get Deso NFTs on OpenSea and also get Elon Musk on Deso. I'm not sure if that's going to happen now that he owns Twitter. MP3 said you tell Mario Nawfal to inform Elon Musk about Deso. I think that goes along with the whole Elon Musk thing. And finally, ASG said to offer cash to anyone who can verifiably get an influential person to Diamond via Twitter Sync. Any other ideas, Slava? Anything you can think of?
No, I really liked Brutal's idea of a light front end, because there are a lot of people in the world that are logging in with, you know, cell phones and devices that aren't able to handle as much data as a front end sometimes needs on Deso. So he has a point there. And I really like the standalone wallet, because then you can kind of share your NFTs that are in your wallet. You can use the wallet, you know, as tipping, even in real life, not just on the platform. So I think a standalone wallet would help as well.
Yeah, all great ideas. So moving on, WhaleShark's first art NFT ever. Of course, WhaleShark's one of the largest NFT collectors in the world, if not the largest. He minted it and sold his first ever art NFT, and it was AI art. He definitely used his brain to help aid the AI in creating it. But it ended with a bid of 55 Deso by the Deso user Zane _. So congratulations to WhaleShark for the sale, and congratulations to Zane for getting what could be an awesome collectible in the future.
Yes, nearly $500 if you put it in USD. So congrats, it's a nice sale. It's one of the larger sales we've seen recently. But moving on, Dharmesh, he noted that WhaleShark ETH has passed him and Naval on the top of the creators list on Deso for coin value. The only account standing in WhaleShark's way right now is Elon Musk, and obviously, I don't think we're going to see Elon Musk posting here anytime soon, especially since he's preoccupied with Twitter. So just knock Elon down and put WhaleShark at the top.
I agree. Yeah, and speaking of WhaleShark, it seems like this is a WhaleShark show today, right? Seems like it's that every day lately. But he onboarded a user named Chief _, and he's actually a Web3 pioneer who's the CEO of Esports for Everyone and Axie.gg. So give a big welcome to Chief _ and check out his profile on Deso.
Yeah, I'd love to see if he has any ideas for Deso in general, maybe in the gaming space. I think that could be big. But moving on, Desocial World, they've released their post to earn winners, sponsored by NFTZ, of course. And I'm just going to quickly go over these winners. They, of course, win cash in Deso for using the Desocial World node to make their post, and it's based on engagement scores. So Akhil369 is number one with $10. Food Curator won $9, Randier $8, Clout Women Unite $7, Longo $6, Stargazer $5, Vampire Campfire $4, and John Jordan $3. Congrats to all of them. And there's a bunch of people that also got $1. I think 50 of them in total.
Yeah, and before we touch on all of the top bidders in the Deso NFT auctions, let's get to Slava.
Hey guys.
How's it
How's
going,
it going?
Slava?
So tell us what you're doing. Obviously you have you're working on BundleDAO. What else are you doing, and what can we expect from BundleDAO moving forward?
So BundleDAO came out of a need for permanent storage for media assets or like user generated content on Deso. As you guys know, it's been a year since we've been here, actually more now, 600 some odd days, almost 2 years. But we don't really have an easy solution to bring permanent storage from Arweave to Deso. Yes, we have that one field, but then you have to balance 2 wallets, you need to balance 2 identities, and you need to have 2 balances on top of that as well. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for Deso users to own their own content in Web3 or in the permanent space. So that's where we're building BundleDAO. This should make it like a one click, you upload your image, you sign it with your Deso identity. We take care of making sure that it gets stored on Deso in a bundle that's attached to your Deso identity. And then any front end can use that for whatever they'd like to use it for, NFTs or just a regular post. They can upload bundles in the future where you can't upload bundles now in, I guess I should say batch uploads where it's like 5,000 pieces or 10,000 pieces at once. We haven't been able to mint those series on Deso. So this should open that up for you guys.
So that'll be great for a large NFT collection that wants to mint an entire collection all at once.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
So,
and it would
tell
help.
us a little bit about the DAO, like how it's going to function, what you're raising, and what will the owners of the DAO tokens receive in exchange.
So the DAO contributors get credit in storage rewards, and then they get access to closed beta. And this way, what we're trying to do is we're trying to collect the fees that we'll get, split them in half, and then divide the storage credits back to the DAO members. So this way, if you're a DAO member and you're an artist, hopefully you get free credit monthly, and you don't have to pay for art anymore, and you just have the upload because of the fees that we're collecting as a DAO. DAO members will also be able to vote on proposals in the future when we change anything, or if they want to change anything, if they want to propose new features, that'll also be something that'll be down the pipeline in the roadmap. At the moment, we're trying to raise $15,000. How we come up to that was we looked at what it would take us to build out the whole vision up until the end of the roadmap, which you can see on the DAO page. And we broke that up into 4 chunks so that it could be Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. This way we, raise a little, deliver on that raise a little more, deliver on that raise, so that it doesn't seem like we're asking for a huge chunk and then where do we go for a year? How did we come up with 60K? This is bare minimum for Jim and I to keep our lights on and be able to produce for a year and still be here and active on Deso. So we're only going to keep 20% of the tokens at the end of the raise. So we'll be burning off our holdings as people contribute, so that we're always holding 20% and the community's holding 80%.
Cool idea. I like that.
Yeah, so that's why we've minted out the supply, and this way we'll know how much we need to burn depending on how much we've raised. That's also in the tokenomics as well. And we're really just trying to give creators the tools to own their own assets in Web3. I think that's the only way forward. This way they can attach their intentions to it. They can attach the licensing or royalties, whatever it is that they want to attach, and continue. And that asset can continue living on in Web3, even if the artist is no longer participating. That asset will remain, and all of those rules will remain with that asset. So that's really important to us.
Yeah, I really think that the way you're using this DAO could really be a good example of how others can create DAOs, because you actually have a plan. We're seeing a lot of DAOs spring up and they don't really say what the user gets, like how it's going to function, what the voting is going to do, what the funds are going to be used for. So I really appreciate that. I think that's important. The openness, I think it gives people more confidence in buying those DAO coins.
I appreciate that. And I hope that being here for as long as I have and as long as Art by City has been around with Gemini trying to pioneer just content ownership in Web3 for the past 2 years almost, I think we've gotten some trust, at least from the creators that we've supported, the creators that are already on the platform, the Deso creators that wanted this feature in the first place. I mean, we applied to the Octane Fund, but it kind of dried up by the time we applied, because we applied later when it first opened. I think it was
That
like
happened
October,
to a lot of
November.
apps. Like they applied
Yeah.
just a little bit too late.
I think I applied more than a little too late, to be honest, because we applied in about March or April. And I think that was after everything stopped on the Octane Fund already. And we
I
just
think, yeah, I
figured,
think January is when they gave out the first
yeah,
amount and then it's kind of closed. I totally agree. I think that Ed and I have been pushing for Octane Fund to come back because I think there's a lot of actually really great projects that could use some funding. And unlike that first round, I think there's a bigger layer of trust between members and you can kind of pick out who's going to be here for the long run. Whereas back then, there are a lot of people that took money and then kind of disappeared. I don't want to say disappeared, but they didn't meet the expectations
Yeah.
that I think the foundation had.
I think there's better ways to hold developers accountable, and they didn't use those. They didn't use those ways in the first round. I think they could come up with better ideas on how to ensure that the developers don't just take the money and run.
I think it was just a new environment for everyone, the team and the developers that were coming in, because not every developer is ready to have their code open sourced and used by everyone and be able to be applied everywhere. Not everyone likes to or even knows how to participate in decentralized communities or open source communities. So it takes a little bit of, I guess, adjusting. And maybe we saw that friction for the first year. And yeah, you never know if the developers are going to stay or they're going to leave. So I think it should always be kind of like, chunks or sprints. And once you gain some kind of trust and you see that the sprints are happening and there's actual features being developed or the code is being worked on, then yeah, you can give out more at a time. But I mean, this is true with any kind of trust relationship, I feel like. And it seems that the core team is trying to fund more DAO projects now with like the open fund. So I'm hoping that they take the initiative that they started with Octane, kind of put it into the communities that they want to fund through open fund now. And I think that's what they're probably looking to do, because this way it's not just giving out the money and they're gone. This way you get at least some kind of voting power. You're part of a community. The core is also part of the community because they've contributed. So maybe that'll change the paradigm a little bit there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So what else are you
When you
doing?
said open fund, it made me think of like, what's open fund? And I
Oh
realized
yeah,
that
the
they
DAO
renamed
DAO
it
rename.
DAO.
Yeah.
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 So tell us a little bit of what else you're doing on Deso. I know you mentioned Art by City, and you're also helped out with Deso Ghost, and there's so many different things you're doing and working on.
Well, Art by City is just a Web3, not just, it is a Web3 protocol primarily built on Arweave, because it's the only place where we saw that it's permanent storage at a one-time fee. Everywhere else, like IPFS, you have to pay for a pinning service. Filecoin, you still have to maintain the storage. So we kind of looked for a one-time fee solution, because that's what it should be. If you're attaching an immutable asset on one side, it should be an immutable asset on the other side. So we got away from the buckets and made sure that it's all permanent storage and that everything's attached to the artist. So our main focus is just getting artists the tools they need to operate properly in Web3, self-publish, monetize on their own, and choose where they want to exist, which platforms they want to exist on, and kind of bring their community with them so that they don't lose them from platform to platform or even chain to chain, because it's cross-chain as well. But with wanting to help artists, that's how Biko Pro and I met, I guess, a year ago also. He's one of the OGs. He's been here forever. And he does graffiti art, and graffiti art's really close to heart for me because I'm from New York City, and a lot of my friends were graffiti artists that eventually made it from the street to, I guess, the galleries. And I kind of saw that in Biko Pro and the stuff that he was posting in his early posts, where it's just him literally hanging on a wire and like spray painting a huge wall in Rio, where he's risking his life and freedom, and he's selling these things for like 10 cents each. so I spoke with him, and then we started Deso Ghost with his wife Clara as well, and they've just taken that project and took off. They're championing Deso and Art by City everywhere they go. They're in several metaverses. They've introduced us to several different chains as well. So they're a great team to be around. I'm glad I met them as well. Just like I've met Kanchi with Astronation and the things that he's building there. I don't think he ever gives himself enough credit for the things that he builds. He's way too humble.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
actually he did the research for the physics that is in that game. Like he literally
Crazy.
spent a couple of years with PhDs in university to develop new physics for the space travel, because the things that exist don't really replicate space travel properly. So Astronation actually has real or as real space travel as you can get at the moment. And he never sells that. And I feel like it's such an amazing thing, because like you can literally use it in calculation settings. Like you can calculate flight in Astronation, where
Wow,
it's
that's
like you can't.
amazing.
Yeah, because
Well,
it's actually real.
you just sold it for him, so now it's
Yeah,
out
I
there
guess.
whether Kanchi likes it or
Yeah.
not, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Deso Shopping was a great project that Sean and I started, just to kind of get more merch out there, get more of us to even see each other, because we don't always know each other face by face. But if we see a Deso hat or some Deso merch, you know that you're on the same platform, and we know each other. And I feel like that unifying factor is needed in the real world as well. That's why we opened it up as a DAO to be like, hey, we have other symbols and other communities that are here. Why not help everyone make some merch and then split the profits in half and give it all back, just to make sure that we have enough for operations. So we covered operations for 3 years. So we have 3 years to have fun with that project. Anyone that wants to make any merch can come in and make merch. So I think I just want to have open environments for anyone that wants to make anything, really. I mean, you want to play in a metaverse, come hang out with with Kanchi. You want to make some
Exactly.
merch, do some Deso shopping. If you'd like to have an NFT, go get some Deso ghosts.
Yeah,
Otherwise, please attach your content to your name with BundleDAO. We need this.
like you're the guy behind the scenes making all these little projects happen or helping them happen, and like people don't even realize it. So like Slava is like this big time OG, but he's so quiet about it,
Yeah,
and
like
that's
like
how
you
I
talk
see it.
about Kanchi, you talk about Kanchi being so quiet about what he's doing, but I feel like you're the same way.
Probably, yeah. I think we're similar in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, so is there anything that we missed? Is there anything that you want to touch on before we get on to just a few things at the end of the show?
No, I think we hit it all. If you guys have any other questions about BundleDAO, Art by City, any of the stuff that I've been doing,
I do
great.
want to
Otherwise,
thank your wife, Jules, for some of her candles that she gave us. I think we met her. Did we meet her somewhere?
Yeah,
yeah,
when
it
we
was
went
at what was it? Thanksgiving at Cat.
Thanksgiving, yeah, in New
Yeah,
York,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Cat
Yes,
Cohen's.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cat
Yes,
Cohen,
and she
yeah.
gave us like these awesome candles that I still have sitting on my desk.
My
Yeah, she
son
So,
sends
has
her
it in his room.
regards.
My
Yeah.
son has this
Does he have
big
the
blue
dragon?
dragon.
Yeah. I remember she
yeah.
made the dragon for you guys. Yeah, she sends her regards, and hello to Deso from Jules as well. Check out Jules, Candles by Jules. She
Definitely.
handcrafts them, and they're all natural as well. Yeah, we're all hands-on kind of family.
All right, so let's just close out our show with some of the NFTZ auctions that are ending in the next 24 hours. WhaleShark ETH, we're talking about him again. He has his advertisement NFT up for auction that ends at 11 a.m. today, Eastern time. You win the auction, you get to make a post on WhaleShark ETH's diamond profile. So definitely a cool idea and a cool NFT. Ooh La La has released several new holiday-themed Rhino NFTs with 50% royalties that go to Saving the Survivors. And of course, Saving the Survivors is a charity that helps rhinos in the wild who have been, helps save them from poachers, helps save the ones who have been attacked by poachers. It's a great charity. Glad to see this NFT project supporting it. Those NFTs end at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern time or so today.
Yeah, I quickly want to get the top NFT bidders on the Deso blockchain over the last 24 hours. This list is provided by NFTZ. They are as follows: Dead Metal, Baba Bro, Sagar, Akelak, Ishisha, R39 ELP, Shady Acres, Andreas PZ, 06 UYG, and Boxer XXX. And the top diamond creators over the last 24 hours, thanks to our friends at Altum Base for this list. These people received the most diamonds or tips on the Deso blockchain over the last day. Spunk Art, Yanu, Messet NFT, ABCD Amir, WhaleShark ETH, Be It Me Not You, Striga, Randier, Armageddon, and Fields.
All right, and we'll close out the show with today's list of Deso related events thanks to Miss Katie Ann. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, and thanks to Slava. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you guys. Enjoy your day. Thank you for having me.